In a joint operation, the Turkish state oil company TPAO, the British energy group BP, and the US company Chevron are undertaking exploration drilling in the eastern Black Sea in Turkish waters during the second half of 2005. This is the first well ever to be drilled in the area, where the depth of water has prevented the search for oil and gas so far. To meet such a technological challenge, a special solution was required. Therefore, the oil companies commissioned the drillship GSF Explorer from the global Santa Fe Drilling Company to carry out the work. GSF Explorer had been working in the Gulf of Mexico until recently, but it underwent a major overhaul in the Mediterranean island of Malta to ensure all systems are ready for the Black Sea drilling project. The ship was dry docked in Malta for several weeks to clean and repaint the hull, partly dismantle the drilling derrick, and overhaul the ship's dynamic equipment. Four azimuth thrusters are used to dynamically position GSF Explorer at sea. The team had to take out all thrusters, repair and upgrade them for the upcoming task.
The thrusters are basically what keep the ship in position on location. She is dynamically positioned, so that's a critical piece of what keeps her there. We had some repairs and upgrades to do to them, so that's why we removed them.
The drilling deck stands over 100 meters from the waterline. Therefore, the top section had to be removed and stored on the foredeck. Otherwise, the ship could not pass under the two Bosphorus bridges on its way to the Black Sea.
The main challenge was to find a specific crane to be able to lift the derrick in terms of the weight of the derrick and having the height to actually put the derrick in place.
This operation was carried out by a Smith Lloyd crane barge hired for these special lifting operations in Malta and later in Turkey.
We have to do the reverse of what we did in Malta. We have to reinstall the derrick, we have to reinstall the top drive and travelling block and all the equipment, ancillary equipment that sits in the derrick there before she's ready to go back out and start drilling the well here in Turkey Black Sea.
After Malta, GSF Explorer sailed all the way through the Mediterranean and the Aegean Seas to the Turkish Straits. The Bosphorus Passage was a special challenge. On the 22nd of June 2005, GSF Explorer entered the Bosphorus around 8:30 in the morning, traveling at 8 knots. The trip was strictly planned, monitored and assisted by the Turkish Coastal Safety and Salvage Administration. The Turkish safety team allowed the traffic to flow only in the northern direction with no other vessel near GSF Explorer.
Durumda karşı yönden trafiğe kapalıydı. Tek yönlü trafik.
At the agreed location, our maritime pilot got on the ship and our escort tugs also guided GSF Explorer all the way to the Black Sea. We had heavy urban traffic in the southern part of the Bosporus, with people travelling between the Asian and European part of the city, so we closely controlled the flow there. With all the guidance from our centre and the advanced radar monitoring system, everything went well.
İlk defa bu kadar bir derinlikte bir kuyu açıyor olacağız.
We'll be drilling in such a depth for the first time in our history. This requires advanced technologies, a lot of expertise and know-how. That's why this project has such a special importance for TPAO and Turkey.
Dolayısıyla Türkiye için de son derece önemli bir yeri var.
It was a clear day in Istanbul, and the weather did not pose any challenges.
The challenging part of it is, we had to remove the derrick, and once we removed the derrick, we were still at a height of 56 meters, and the bridge, the lowest bridge you have to cross is right at 62 meters. So We had about 6 meters clearance, which you know, obviously sounds like a good safety factor there, but I believe we were all just a little bit nervous and happy to see her sail right through with plenty of clearance under the bridge.
GSF Explorer is a dynamically positioned drill ship. Its location is constantly monitored by satellite positioning systems. In addition to 2 normal propellers for propulsion, the ship is fitted with 5 thrusters mounted laterally in the hull and 4 azimuth thrusters, which can rotate through 360 degrees. The combined power of these propellers is about 36,000 horsepower, which is more than adequate to hold GSF Explorer stationary during drilling.
The GSF Explorer actually started her operations in 1973 when she was built by the US Navy with the help of Howard Hughes to recover a Russian nuclear submarine. It was a very secret project at that time. It was actually called the Jennifer Project, and that was the reason why she was built. After that, she was put into mothballs until 1996, when Global Santa Fe made a deal with the US Navy to lease the vessel for deep water drilling operations.
GSF Explorer passed under the second Bosphorus Bridge without any difficulties, but there was still a lot to be done before drilling started.
We've got a very, very busy summer ahead of us. Now that we're into the Black Sea, we moved to Ireli. We put the derrick back on the rig, obviously a significant milestone for us there. Finish off our repair and maintenance work on the vessel, load the materials for the well, and we sail out to location.
The next stop after Malta will be Ereğli, on western shores of the Turkish Black Sea coast. The derrick had to be reinstalled for offshore operations.
Well, this type of operation can be extremely difficult and dangerous. So there was a lot of planning and preparation went in before you can do this type of operation. Safety, of course, is paramount. We don't want to hurt anyone. So a lot of coordination, planning, risk assessments, checking of equipment, having people in the right place, of course, correct communication. All went into ensuring that the upper section was replaced safely and efficiently.
We had secured the derrick up on the forward main deck, and obviously we made a stop here in the port of Ereğli here to reinstall the derrick. We used a TAC Lift 7, which is a crane barge. And it's a pretty straightforward lift. It took a lot of teamwork and good communications, but everything went really great. It's a 460,000 pound lift, and it just went as smooth as could be. It took roughly about 2 hours to get it picked up and set back down and all the bolts installed.
Now, as the derrick is back in its original position and all other equipment is ready for drilling, it's time for GSF Explorer to sail into a challenging season. The Black Sea region of Turkey is a sparsely populated area where the terrain is mostly about high mountains and a long shoreline with deep valleys. Regionally, the main economic activity is farming and agricultural production. Fishing also provides a major economic income for the coastal population. The southeastern Black Sea is an important fishing area, providing 46% of the total national marine production. The Black Sea Exploration Project has conducted an environmental and social impact assessment of the drilling activities taking place outside of Turkish territorial waters, about 120 kilometers northeast of Trabzon.
Normally it is not a legal requirement in Turkey, but since it's a good practice and since it helps us to understand potential impacts of our drilling operations to environment and also to local community, it's a good practice, so we did it.
The environmental and social impact assessment has been done by Ensar International, an independent consultancy group in academic cooperation with regional experts.
Aktif deniz çalışmaları sırasında yerinde
We supported our field observations with academic data. We also conducted a survey on the fishermen community and their activities. As a result of this, we found out that the drilling activity will not have any impact on fishermen. The drilling takes place far out of the coastal waters where there is no fishing activity. It can only affect the migration of fish, but drilling takes place in a very limited and small area.
herhangi bir zarar teşkil etmeyeceği inancına kapıldık.
The Black Sea is over 1,500 meters deep at the location chosen for drilling. The well itself will then be drilled for more than 3,000 meters into the seabed, making the overall depth more than 4,500 meters. For this challenging operation, a support base on the Turkish Black Sea coast was needed, and the city of Trabzon was chosen.
British Petrol'e bizim Trabzon limanında
We provided the project 27,500 square meters of area inside our port. It includes warehouses, an office building and an open area for materials. We work in a close cooperation with the project to try to do our best to support
destek
them.
olmaya gayret ediyoruz.
We arrived in Trabzon in October of '04. The intention was to put in place the infrastructure for a logistics support base to support the exploration drilling in the Black Sea. Our function in logistics base is to support the drill ship by loading all necessary cargo onto multi-purpose supply vessels, transport this to the drill ship, and then to deal with all the cargo that has been returned from a drill ship to the operations base. This involves importing cargo into Turkey and exporting cargo out of Turkey.
At the Trabzon port, new facilities had to be brought in and set up to support GSF Explorer and the drilling operations. A cement storage unit, mud plant, and the casing pipe storage area were established. 2 supply vessels transport necessary materials to GSF Explorer on a regular basis.
What material we're going to send to drilling GSF Explorer is actually been decided well before and been decided and given to us by the drilling program. Any changes communicated to us. We're working with a big team. Whatever material we're going to send it, first we got to prepare it in an outbound area and we have to check it.
GSF Explorer is currently drilling about 120 kilometers northeast of Trabzon, within the Turkish exclusive economic zone. The drilling of this well will contribute to better understanding of the hydrocarbon potential of the area.
We're drilling a rank wildcat well, which means we know very, very little information about what we'll find. We don't know what the rocks are, we don't know what the pressures are, we don't know what sort of drilling problems we may or may not face. So a lot of uncertainty involved, but a tremendous amount of work has gone into planning for this well to take care of all that uncertainty.